What is up, my beautiful people? Today, thank you for tuning in. There's already almost 400 of you in the room. Make sure if you haven't, real quick, Kung Fu Chop that like button, okay? Leave your DNA on the thumbs up button. Okay, so I put out a video yesterday that was about the 3 young men who died in Kansas, froze to death, Kansas City Chiefs fans, okay? They went to a man's house. They were celebrating. They were found outside frozen. Now, everybody in the comments, and I'm talking this video since last night, has done 20,000 plays, hundreds of comments, and most of the comments say they believe there is some type of foul play involved, right? Usually, listen, if you don't do nothing in this world, you usually don't run out and get a lawyer. Okay, when you start lawyering up, it makes me think that you are hiding something, that there's something else involved. And a lot of people said the same thing as me. A man is not going to take his wallet out his pocket and leave it in another dude's house. A lot of people think that something may have transpired, that these people were drugged inside of the house and then actually dragged outside and left outside to freeze. It seems really crazy. It seems really strange, right? To me, and I believe everybody else. And I believe that's why so many people are watching the video, because, hey, the family wants answers. I think the internet kind of wants answers. It don't make sense. And this guy, the guy Jordan or so that lives in the house, he is lawyered up. Why would you lawyer up if you haven't did anything wrong? Is what I'm thinking. And instantly, you know, their keys, their wallets, things like that are in his house. And he has 3 dead bodies outside his house for, I say, day and a half, 2 days. And he don't know they're there. People are beating on his door, knocking on his door. He's not coming to the door. Why is that? Is it because he may know something is wrong? Well, we're going to jump real quick to watch this video from News Nation. Let me share the screen with you guys. And it's basically his lawyer saying this guy has no clue that these bodies were in his yard, which seems to me to be, what's the odds of that? Well, he might not knew the bodies were in his yard, but he didn't know their wallets were in his house. He didn't know the keys were in the house. Seems a little strange and a whole lot of change to me. Okay, let's jump into this video.
Now to the bizarre story out of Kansas City. 3 guys found dead outside of a friend's home after they'd all gone over to watch a Kansas City Chiefs game with him. And the living friend, whose home they'd gone to, apparently never contacted the police. Apparently claiming days later that the 3 men, identified as 38-year-old Ricky Johnson, 37-year-old David Harrington, 36-year-old Clayton McGinney, froze to death outside of his home. The autopsy results are currently pending, but as of now, police are saying there are no signs of foul play. And
now tell me that ain't crazy, right? You just find 3 young people dead. They didn't just naturally die in their 30s. Okay, they just didn't all just simultaneously drop dead, and the temperatures never reached below 18 degrees, which is cold, but it was average temperatures around 30 degrees that day. 18 to 30 degrees.
are not treating this as a homicide investigation. Joining us now is John Paserno, the attorney for the homeowner. Thanks a lot for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so a lot of people, particularly family members of those who died, have a lot of questions for your client. What does he say happened here?
Well, at this time, he doesn't say anything different than what he's told police previously, that he has no knowledge of what happened to those young men after they left his home.
They didn't leave his home, though. That's the problem. They never left his home. In order to leave his home there, John, they would have had to take their wallets and their keys. It appears they walked outside his home and died or couldn't get back into the home. And then why, my big question is, why when the family came to the door, they beat on the door and nobody comes to the door. Their car keys are inside the house. Their wallets are inside the house. I mean, your client could say, hey, I seen them leave, but you didn't see their wallet sitting there. You never tried to reach out to any of them to be like, hey, I got your wallet, anything of that nature. You know, it seems a little odd and a little strange to me, for sure. 100% strange. And then you run out and you instantly start moving out the house. You instantly go get a lawyer. Seems a little strange to me.
Let me read you. This is from one of his friends, from one of the friends of the one of the people who died, who said on Facebook, the man was inside his home alive while my friends were dead in his yard for Lord knows how long. They were all hanging out since after the game Sunday. He knew people were looking for them. He read messages of people searching for him on Tuesday. My husband banged on his door for 20 minutes. My friend banged on the door and then busted a window and yelled and announced her presence while she's inside, and still nothing from him. Then the cops come 10 minutes later and he comes out nonchalant in his boxers with an empty wine glass in his hand. Nothing is adding up. Dave, Clay, and Ricky need and deserve justice. They didn't deserve this. Your response?
That is absolutely true. I agree with the friend that, listen, family friend sent messages on Facebook. He left on red. Yeah, he knew people were looking for him. He knew things of that nature. He did nothing to aid these people. I believe he knew they were out there. Right? He knows what's going on. If they were doing illegal substances, he knows about it. Okay. And how do we know he's not the person that gave? Say hey to everybody, Lolo. Say hey. Say like the video, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay. All right. You got to sit right here. I have so many questions. Yeah, I could ask questions for days on this. And this family right here, they deserve answers. Okay. The whole he don't know nothing, he's not aware of this stuff, that I call bullshit. Complete bullshit on this.
Response.
Sure. Even if all of those things are true, that doesn't mean he had anything to do with what happened to those young men. Obviously, 3 men who die all at the same time. And there's no signs of foul play whatsoever from the police. There's nothing to indicate that Jordan had any involvement whatsoever in their deaths. I spoke with the prosecutor this morning. As a matter of fact, the toxicology reports are due in a couple of weeks. And, you know, we can all speculate as to how they died. But as far as my client being involved, Jordan didn't have anything to do with their deaths. You know, when they left his home after
they need to be in that house searching for sure. You know, you said poison, maybe, or it's some type of bad drugs. But how do we know that he didn't give them drugs? Okay. How do we know they consumed the drugs and he didn't poison them people like somebody said? And why are their wallets inside? Why are the keys inside? Why didn't he try to render aid? Why didn't he look for his friends? It makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
the game. He didn't even really know which door they went out. They were in the backyard. He doesn't use that particular door. He goes out in the front. And so he had no knowledge that they were out there until, Tuesday when he was told that they were out there.
And what of the claims from the family?
Yeah, and the cars are out front, right? He goes out the front door. He don't use that door. He used the front door. He could see their cars are there. He can see their car keys are there. He can see their wallets are there. He sees people are looking for him. That makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely none. This dude, I don't know what's going on, but this guy in his house has some knowledge of it, or he has a hand in it.
Families that they were trying to contact him and he wouldn't respond, and they were going to the house, etc.
Sure. I don't know about whether or not they went to the house or tried to contact him, but he was home sporadically. I know another allegation I've seen floating out there is that he would have had to put the dogs out, that the dogs would have went in the backyard, and that's untrue as well. The dogs stay at his dad's house, which his dad lives in a different location, and that's where the dogs were. He had no reason to go in the backyard. As you can see there, we've had recent snowstorms and that kind of.
So he didn't go in the backyard. What about their cars? What about the people looking for him? He didn't think to go look in his backyard when the people were looking for him. home sporadically. That means he was going in and out.
Thing. So he had absolutely no knowledge that they were out there. They were his friends. They were at his house socializing. If he had found them out there or if they were in danger, he would have called the police and tried to help them. He's a highly educated guy. He's a good guy. He has a full-time job. In no way would he try to harm his buddies.
And to be really clear, he didn't know that there were 3 dead, frozen friends outside his house.
Correct.
I call BS. Look, if you call BS on this, press 1 in the chat. If you think that could happen, press 2. All right. If you call BS in the chat, press 1. But before you do, make sure you like the video. We got about 800 of you here. So make sure you like the video and then let me know. 1. I see a lot of bullshit being called on the play. Okay. Since this is about football, there's a flag on the play. There's definitely a flag on the play. Penalty. Offsides. The roommate is a kook that didn't try to help his friends. Okay. If this is true, then he's just as bad as, like, let's just say Dylan from the Idaho 4. Okay. Sees the killer. Don't report it to the authorities. This guy, he's got people letting him know that these people are missing. Their cars are in his driveway. Keys and wallets are in his house. But he ain't seen his friends. I see a flag on the play. I see a bunch of flags on the play. Right there. There's a flag on the play. More flags on the play. Offsides, penalty. 20 years in prison should be the penalty for each person that's out there and froze to death. What if they were beating on the door? I mean, we don't know that. You know, we're speculating. But what if they tried to get in the house and he didn't let them in the house? You would still think these people would try to go get help somewhere else if they were getting cold. I mean, I know I would. We know that these toxicology reports are going to come back and say something. They're going to have something in their system. Now, you know, there's a bad thing out there that's killing people like this constantly across our country. I ain't going to say the name of it because YouTube's funny. But it is a real bad epidemic in our country that's coming in from China. They're mixing it with other street drugs, and it's killing people across the country like crazy. In one weekend in Virginia, we had 17 people die. Okay? 17 people. And that was just in one weekend. So, I mean, think about how busy the hospitals are taking people dying from these street drugs. Let's just say they all got a batch of that. They did that. They fell out. But how do we know the person inside the house didn't supply this? They go to his house to get it. They go out back to do it. And they die. Okay, is this smart guy is with a full-time job? Is he also supplying drugs to people? Okay, that's would be one of my big questions. Because they didn't make it far. And, you know, usually was he involved in the taking of whatever they were doing? Or did he know of them doing any illegal substances? Because they're saying they didn't find anything. Now, you find 3 dead bodies. There's no drugs on them. Right? There's no paraphernalia. How did they die? Okay, and it takes a while to freeze to death. You just don't instantly freeze to death in 30-degree temperatures. I mean, your body's going to decline and go down as it gets colder. And if you was moving around in 30-degree temperature, it would take you a long time to die. Now, if you laid there still in 30-degree temperatures, yeah, you would eventually freeze to death, but it would take some time. Think about John O'Keefe. He laid there all night. He did eventually lose his life, but he lost his life more to his injuries than the hypothermia, the cold.
No idea. I mean, if you didn't look in your backyard, how would you know that?
All right.
What
John
about
Paserno, thank you so much.
What about the cars in the front yard? What do you think? They go, okay, well, damn, their cars are here. Let me look around. Are they in my garage? Are they in the backyard? And then you look, and they're in the yard. The man never looked for his friends. He left the house multiple times, never let his dogs out back, never opened the back door. He knew his friends were going out sitting on the patio and things of that nature, because one of them was sitting in the patio dead. And the others were in the yard. So one was sitting down and died, and probably two of them were standing up when they died. So they died fairly fast, whatever killed them. And we know that was some type of street drug. The only thing that's going to take you out that fast is being poisoned or some strong street drug. I think he was cleaning up when he wouldn't answer the door. Yes, I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, maybe he was doing stuff with them. They did too much, or, you know, he has a tolerance for what they were doing, and they came over and they don't have a tolerance and they did that amount and died. I don't know what's going on, but there's definitely something, in this dude in this house somehow is involved in this or has some firsthand knowledge of what's going on, and he's not telling it. And it looks like he's going to run. Like, he's instantly moving up out the house. He ain't been there for 6 months. Why is he leaving so soon? You know, not coming to the door, not doing these things, not looking, not returning people's messages. And they're supposed to be his friends. I mean, with friends like that, who needs enemies?
So much for coming on the program. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
Let's get back with the panel. Geraldo Rivera, Ashley Banfield, and Jesse Weber. All right, Ashley, it's cold where they are there. You grew up in incredibly cold weather as well. What do you make of what Mr. Paserno is saying there?
I grew up in -30, so I don't think Kansas City's cold at all. However, look, I get what Mr. Paserno is saying, and that it does make sense. I once rented a dumpy house that I never saw the backyard at all. I did, however, see cars.
Look at this lady. She said she ran a dumpy house. What kind of dumpy house you think this lady lived in? Her rich ass, right? Look, this lady ain't never lived in no dumpy house. 10 bedrooms is probably a dumpy house of this lady. Okay, on a hill.
Cars in my driveway, and those friends had vehicles still in the driveway for 2 days after the game. So that's a hard one to sort of put my head around, because if he indeed is going out that front door.
Well, look, so if I walked outside, one of my buddies' cars are here, I would go, damn. Okay, Triple D's in here. I would go, damn, Triple D left his car here. Okay. By the next day, I'm going to be reaching out to Triple D, being like, man, what are you going to come get your car? Why is your car still here? But he didn't even do that. See what I'm saying? Like, I get you let somebody's car sit at your house in your front yard for a day. I'd be like, yo, damn, they left their car here. They must have dropped it off and went somewhere else. Carpooled or something, you know? But by day 2, I'm going to be a little suspicious of that, you know? And I'm going to reach out to that person or try to reach out to that person. And then when I can't get a hold of them, I'm going to think something strange. And I'm going to think they're here somewhere, dead, because I do true crime, okay? And now I'm used to it. So I'll be searching the perimeter for dead bodies.
To and from wherever he goes every day. Isn't he calling the friends to say, come get your cars? That didn't happen. And I'm very, very concerned about.
See, that's the same thing I'm saying. Ain't you calling your friends to say, come get your cars, your wallets here, you left your keys? None of that. It don't make sense.
But what Kaylee Laturion said in her Facebook, they broke in to the house calling his name, and he didn't answer, and they're in his house, and they find the bodies, and then 10 minutes later he's coming out with a wine glass in his underwear. All of that very uncomfortable.
Jesse?
It's strange. I don't think.
Tell me that ain't some Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lamb type shit right there. He comes out, he's wearing a silk robe, he's naked, he got his weenie tucked, he got his wine glass, talking about what's going on. I've seen this before. It's called Silence of the Lambs. Okay. It is weird. It is strange. And it don't make no sense. If anything, he should be in jail for it not making sense. For being a bad friend. We need to create a law. Maybe to be, we call it the DOLLY law. For being a badass friend. You go to jail. Like people leaving their friends behind. We've seen that in the Kylie Rodney case. There's a lot of times that there's bad friends. The Idaho 4 with Dylan not calling the police for 8 hours, bad friend. I mean, there should be a bad friend law. Now, it's perfectly legal to be a badass friend. Like Triple D should be in jail right now. He ain't a good friend. There should be laws against it. There should be laws against being a bad friend. You should be a decent person, people. If you've got a friend, you don't get many of them in this world. You should treat them good, okay? And not spit in their eyeballs. Never spit in your friend's eyeballs from across the room drunk, okay? Don't do that. That makes you a bad friend. They should put you in prison for that. But right now in our country, there's no law against being a badass friend. Sad as that sounds, it should carry at least 10 years. You a bad friend, you get 10. All right. In the court of law, if I can prove you a shitty friend, you owe me money and never pay me back, they should lock your ass up. Okay.
I think we learned too much from this interview. I mean, he emphasized something that I thought was interesting. All three died presumably at the same time. That's very curious. And if they had cell phones on them, if it was a case they got locked out of the house or in trouble, they didn't contact anybody else. There's a lot of unanswered questions here. And I'm not surprised from this attorney that we didn't get those answers, because he is representing his client in a really difficult situation right now.
Thank you for watching.
Okay. In a difficult situation right now. I mean, an unexplainable situation, not a difficult situation. It's unexplainable. Like, why was you Buffalo Billing? Why is there dead bodies in your yard? And we know they're coming back with drugs in their system because 3 young men just didn't drop dead. That just didn't happen. But the question is this: how did they get the drugs in their system? Now, I heard one of them's family say the guy didn't drink, didn't smoke, nothing. Now, how all of a sudden is this dude a drug addict and dropping dead on drugs in the yard? Okay. Now, I don't know if all Kansas City Chief fans are out there, partying that hard till they die, but I hope y'all slow it down a little bit. Slow it, bring it back a little bit. But definitely for the police to come out so early and say there's no signs of foul play, that's crazy. Because let's just say, okay, right now, toxicology reports are out. They got drugs in their system. Okay. Drug people. I watched that American Nightmare. Dude broke in their house. He was injecting them with NyQuil and all kind of shit, right? People drug people. So what if this dude has drugged his friends? They've died in the house. This is just hypothetically. And he's drugged them outside. Oh shit, they ain't dying in my house. One of those, you know what I'm saying? Put them outside. Maybe they were, like them police in Boston. They're like, oh shit, he's done died in the house. Let's drag him out and leave him in the front yard. Well, in this case, in the backyard. They were a little bit smart. He was a little bit smarter than the police that killed John O'Keefe, because they put him in the front yard. Now there's bodies in the backyard. A lot of bodies in the damn snow. When it snows, I ain't going outside now. I'm probably just going to be like, nah, I'm going to stay in. People be dying out in that shit. Okay? Like, really. So, if there's any snow on the ground, Dolly staying in. I'm definitely going to skip that one. Now, are they going to charge this dude with anything? Let's just say that does come back with drugs in their system. He ain't saying nothing. He's lawyered up. They're just going to look at these 3 guys like they were drug addicts and they died. In the investigation, in the story, next chapter. And they're going to move on from this like that. I honestly don't think that should be the case, but that will be the case. All right. Because they're going to come back with one of these hard street substances in their body. I still think that, possibly somebody could put that in them. But that is really hard to prove with nobody there but them 4 people. And that one person ain't saying nothing. So, he's going to say, I didn't give them no drugs. I had no knowledge of them doing drugs. And that's done. He ain't going to go to jail. He's not going to get in trouble. The police will move on. That's the bad thing when you deal with drugs. People just look at you like you're a drug addict piece of shit, and they don't care. These drug addicts got families. They're just as important as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? They just people with addiction. But they get treated differently in this world. If they find, I know that for a fact. I had a friend that OD'd. You know how you see all this CSI, right? They came in, found his body, and they didn't even search. They left. I go into the room. I pick up a cigarette pack, and there's drugs in it. They didn't even search. They didn't even look around. And they dropped them on the floor. You want to get rid? I mean, horrible like that. It ain't like no CSI. It ain't like TV. Okay, they did zero investigation. They walked in. He was dead. They're like drug addict. Called the coroner. Dropped him off the bed. Trying to pick him up because he's a big guy. Wrapped him up in a sheet. Took him out. That was it. See you guys later. You know how many questions they asked? Zero. Right? Just a drug addict dead. And that's how these dudes are being treated. But I don't really see that as being the case. You know, I don't see that being the case. And I don't think you should. How do you know if somebody's doing drugs or if somebody's drugged them? Like, you know, if you don't investigate or do no type of investigation into it, you walk in, goes, yeah, it looks like he OD'd. Boom, that's it. I mean, I ain't trying to tell people how to kill people in this world, but they just don't do much investigations into drug addicts. And that's, you know, I think they should. Everybody's just as important as each other. If you have an addiction, you have an addiction. That don't make you not human, you know, where people shouldn't care about you. And I just think in them situations, a lot of them people get overlooked. I tell you another strange one that happened here locally where I'm at before I get to these other two topics. There was the police pulled this guy over, and I've shared this before, but they're still kind of going through this here in my town. They pulled this guy and this girl over, and the guy's wanted. Okay. In the process of this, they get the two people out, the girl and the guy out the car, and they handcuff the girl. And as they go to handcuff the guy, he runs. Okay. Two police officers that are handcuffing them both chase after the guy that's running. So they leave the girl handcuffed. Somewhere in the process of this, the girl is handcuffed behind her back. Okay, she's handcuffed behind her back. They're chasing the police. Now, this is what they say happened. I don't know what happened. I won't dare. They're chasing after this guy. They say this girl handcuffed gets a gun, okay, that's handcuffed, and shoots herself in the head with her hands handcuffed behind her back. Okay? And they say they ain't with her, and they don't know how she did it because they're chasing the suspect. But she shoots herself in the head. And all of a sudden, I guess the dash camera on the car ain't working. Okay, so you got this woman shot in the back of the head, handcuffed. Right? You make that make sense. Okay, and so I eat at a little local place that I think a former police officer owns it. You know, I just be in there eating breakfast, but a lot of police hang out in there locally here, and this is where it happened, right? So I'd just be overhearing them talk about it. And some of them seem they seem in disbelief. Like, how does that even happen? You know, like, think about your hands behind your back. How do you shoot yourself in the back of the head? Now, if she would have slipped the cuffs to the front and then shot herself, I would say, okay, that makes sense. There's only 408 likes. Guys, there's over 1,000 people here. do me a solid. We'll share the rest of the story with you. Hit that damn like button. It's free this week. You can thumb it up all you want. I ain't going to charge you a penny. Absolutely. I don't even have it on members only today. I let everybody come in, act crazy. Well, everybody's been good. I want to thank everybody too for liking the videos and sharing our stuff. We're growing pretty fast. Thanks to you guys. Okay. I can't like the video. I can't get it going in the algorithm. Only you guys can. If y'all like it and share it, things like that, people are forced to look at this face right here. Okay. And you can do that. You have that control, that power. And I'm counting on you. And I'm counting on you. Dolly loves you. He loves you. So give it a like. Give it a like. Anyway, so yeah, that girl shot herself in the head, according to our local police. Now, I know this. I ain't messing with the police around here. Not when things are going like where people are ending up in the street, handcuffed behind their back, shot in the head. I mean, it sort of sounds like an execution to me a little bit, you know? But I ain't saying that. All right. I support our police around here. I go to the local burger joint they own, you know? I go to the little local burger joint. But don't get handcuffed around here. You know, be like, cops handcuff me. I'm going to be like, yo, could you put those in the front? Possibly. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard the last person y'all handcuffed behind the back got shot in the head. I ain't trying to have all that. Okay. I ain't trying to have all that. Okay. So let's jump into the Michael Monkey Vaughan stuff. Okay. Crazy. Okay. I don't know if you guys have been following this the past week or so, but if you haven't, a lot of things are rapidly moving in the Michael Monkey Vaughan case. A lot of these people that are named suspects by the police in Fruitland have been coming out in an internet campaign, okay, to clear their name. We've had Stacy here. Matter of fact, Stacy's going to be here later tonight, doing a Q&A. He's going to be doing an interview with Justin, and then he's going to come over here later after that to do a little Q&A with you guys. So if y'all have questions y'all want to ask one of the suspects in the disappearance of Michael Monkey Vaughan, tonight he will be here to answer your questions. Now, I got a few questions I want to ask them, but it's not going to be like an interview like we did last time. It's going to be you guys get to ask him questions, and I'll pull your questions up on the screen and we'll see what he says. He says he'll answer whatever you guys ask him. In the same token, try to be, you don't got to cut them no slack. You know what I'm saying? You can ask them whatever you want to ask them. Just be respectful in the way you asked it. Is that cool? Okay. Don't call them a name and then be like, you guilty. You can say you guilty of this, or, you know, you can say whatever you want to say, but just try to keep it respectful as you can under the circumstances. Okay. I know that's a little weird. So he's been going on different, you know, like I said, different channels, sharing different information. A lot of things that we didn't know have been coming out. A lot of questions still need to be asked. Like I said, he's been on Crime, Lies, and Lies with Brooks. He's been on True Crime with Eve. Now Justice Raw here. And like I said, the other dudes are being a little more snaky. You know, they're behind the scenes, but they're delivering messages to YouTubers and putting it out. And I think that's because they know that their time is limited. Okay, just let's be honest. Time is limited for some of these fellows in this thing. And I don't know if they're going to be found guilty of this or whatever's coming for them. But I know this. The Grim Reaper is getting closer and closer and closer. So these people out here, this might be the only chance they get to clear their name. I honestly understand why they're reaching out to YouTubers, right? It's a lot easier to reach out to YouTubers than it is to reach out to the media. And you see Stacy's talking to the media. And he's pleading his case. Now, who that don't look good for is the other two individuals. Brandon, which I believe is caught on the CCTV. He is the guy that is walking in front of the splash pad. I have no doubt in my mind. Okay. That's not proof that it's him. Just I'm convinced in my mind that is him. And with some of the things Stacy said, he said that he does walk around that neighborhood. Angie B, thank you for becoming a member. That's a great way to keep Dolly alive, keep my damn lights on. Okay. Thank you so much. Big virtual hugs to you for becoming a member. Guys, you ain't joined up yet? What are you waiting for? It's Dolly Vision. Look, ain't many YouTubers going to give you the entertainment value for $2.99, less than a cup of coffee, less than this Starbucks right here. You can be a member of this channel for a whole month for less than 1 cup of coffee. Think about that. Can't beat it. It's the best deal on the internet. Okay. The best deal on the internet. Join up while you can. I'm going to run out. There won't be room for everybody. There won't be room. So you better get in now while you can get a prime turtle shell. Good seat. Window seats right now. Still available. You wait too long, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. Okay. See, and Rose just gifted one. So somebody gets a brand new window seat today. And make sure you thank Rose if she gave you that membership. Okay. Because I can't see who it goes to. Winnie's mom has been a member for 2 months. Look at that. Look at that. That's love right there. That is Dolly love. Thank you for being here with us 2 months. That's awesome. I felt like Josh convicted Stacy yesterday. Now, we're going to see. We're going to see what goes down with that. Stacy still has some more things to say. These people are leaking things. Miss Voodoo has been a member for 5 months. But listen, just think about this. 2 months ago, things were creeping along. Creeping. TLC is me. Just gifted a membership. Boop. Make sure you thank her if you got that membership. Big virtual hugs to you. TLC is me. Don't go chasing waterfalls now. Okay. Stacy needs to tell the police what he really knows. Well, I think the police know they can't believe Stacy at this point because you see, of course, I got the hiccups. Stacy lied to him. Think about how much resources they spent digging. And you remember when they were done digging there, they said they were digging at another location, an undisclosed location somewhere else. They were looking somewhere else too. So they dug up all that stuff. Imagine other places they dug with excavators and things of that nature because of this lie. Now, Josh don't believe he was lying. Okay. Josh Lab completely believes that body was in that backyard. I do believe that baby may have been in that backyard. And they moved him. And I think they moved him. Hellcat, thank you so much. Thank you. I think they moved him because Darcy Miller. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the love. Melissa, she's been a member for 13 months. 13 months of looking at your face. It's been fun. Thank you. Time flies when you're having fun, guys. Time flies when you're having fun. I think they knew. And if you get a membership, make sure you thank the person that gave it to you. They're working hard for their money. $2.99. Well, I think it's more when you gift it, actually. But if you just bought it, it's $2.99 lowest tier. Crazy Nurse. Look at that. Crazy Nurse. All aboard. All aboard. Thank you guys for gifting all the membership. Sidekick just gifted one. Man, that's a lot of virtual love right there. I'm going to be giving all kind of virtual hugs today. Dolly got to eat. Okay. I get to eat, me and Lolo. Look, Lolo, we get to eat. We get to eat. Okay. Lolo got to eat. Okay. She's bougie too. She's bougie. Jen just gifted one. Big hugs, Jen. Okay. So let me get to this. Ready? So I believe they were scared and knew that Stacy would talk. Okay. Sarah knows Stacy. She was like, she knew Stacy was going to break. He was in trouble for them gun charges. And they knew he was going to talk. And since they knew he was going to talk, they moved that baby. Now, I don't know who's originally responsible for it, but I'm leaning more towards Brandon. Okay. I know the lab is leaning more towards Stacy. Now, I lean more towards Brandon on this one because I believe he grabbed Michael up. And that's why they caught him on CCTV. He is the dude that is walking. He is the person of interest. And does Stacy know? I think Stacy has knowledge of it. But I don't think Stacy was there when Michael was grabbed. I think this person grabbed him and probably took him to the vehicle. Maybe when they pulled over for the power steering, just a hypothetical, Brandon jumped out the vehicle. Because at some point around that time, he was walking. And he may have grabbed Monkey, is what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know what happened from transpired. You know, did Stacy see him grab him? Was he, a lot of people are asking about this duffel bag and things of that nature. I don't know. And where is the duffel bag? A lot of things are not adding up. Why would he go there to wash clothes when there was a washer and dryer at Stacy and Sarah's house? Why did he change clothes right after Michael Monkey Vaughan went missing? It seems there's some strange things going on, and I believe Stacy may know something. Maybe he has nothing to do with it, or somehow, some way, they've done this under his nose. But he knew at some point that baby was in the yard, and how did he know that? Because I think they did move the baby. And I think they did that because they knew his ass was going to talk. They knew he was going to talk. And they didn't trust him. And I don't think none of these people, this is all speculation as we discuss the case and things come out with new interviews. Y'all take any of this as fact, 100 fact. Yeah, well, the dude can say a million things. That don't mean he's telling the truth. He can say I'm telling the truth a million times and it could all be a lie. I don't know. I'm not a human lie detector test. So I just give him a platform to speak on. And in the end, whatever's going to happen, that's going to happen through the police, detective work, and things of that nature. If I was out there trying to clear my name, I would hope people would give me a platform to say, hey, look, I didn't do this. Even if the whole world thought I did, I think you deserve that opportunity to speak, to say, hey, look, man, I didn't do this. I didn't kill no kids. I didn't, I would want that. But it seems like the background is weird. There's a little bit of misinformation that I want to touch in on with Stacy tonight. And one is the thing was he's going around telling people that this man's been arrested for trafficking kids, that detectives told him this. When we looked into his record, the Adrian guy, he has a trafficking charge, but it's for drugs, narcotics. Narcotics is a long ways away from a kid. Two separate types of things. So I think his information is a little off. And you got to remember that he said last night in the interview he didn't tell me this, but he has all kinds of disorders. Remember I asked him, did he suffer from anxiety? I was trying to get to that. Did you have any disorders? But he kind of went through his disorders a little bit with Justin and stuff, what is the alcohol fetum syndrome, where I guess his mama was a drunk when she was pregnant, and he's got learning disabilities. He's been in special ed his whole life, things of that nature. So you got to remember there's a little learning curve. Or does he use that to scam and con? Okay. We heard a caller call in last night. I'm going to try to get that call cut out for people that didn't get to hear it. And she said she's the lady that let Stacy stay at the house. And she said he's pretty much a liar and a grifter type of person. So, aggravated trafficking, class 1 or class 2. Okay, but it's still not. It's not kids. He was. It looks like the one dude is a little bit of drug dealer. Now, what would Stacy and them need guns for? That's been. I'm gonna ask them that. Why is him and his old lady? His old lady's pulling guns on people. He got guns. What do they need these guns for? I mean, I know we're gonna say, "Well, I have a gun for protection," but that seems a little odd. That seems a little strange. And illegal guns you're going to jail for, and like I had to ask him about other roommates and things of that nature, and he was like, oh, I can't remember, but he remembered yesterday. So we're going to have a little talk with him, be like, hey man, you gotta, I want the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Don't be leaving pieces out. It's that selective memory, because if you do those things, then I'm one of those people. Once I can't believe you, I don't want to talk to you either. And that's how the police were. They were like, okay, everything this dude's saying is a lie. We ain't gonna get nothing out of him. You can't believe nothing he says. And they just don't talk to him, because whatever they said has no credibility. He made them dig up a whole yard that there wasn't baby in there. It probably cost the state thousands of dollars for the construction, for the heavy equipment, all that stuff to be out there for days and days. And it was probably up there in some change. And they ate that out of their budget on a goose chase. I'm surprised they didn't charge him with that. I honestly am. I think at this point, no, they're not. Because if they were, they already would have. It's been a good while since they dug that yard up. Let's be honest. It ain't like they dug it up yesterday. If they were going to charge him with that, they would have been charged him with that. And they didn't. I find that weird. They didn't charge him with it. They don't want to talk to him anymore. They're not trying to question him anymore. Maybe it's not him that they're after. Maybe who's going to get indicted is Sarah, Brandon, and Adrian. Because apparently they were trying to use him as a witness anyway in the beginning. But we will see. It could be opposite of that. It could be just him, because they're out there trying to pin this on him. Now, I'm sure Sarah ain't, but does Sarah really care? Because she's sleeping with all these dudes. Now, you hear Stacy, he wasn't okay with her sleeping with Adrian. She was just doing that on her own. And she was supposed to stop sleeping with Brandon, and she didn't do that. And Stacy said there was other people. So this girl was just getting it in. And like, I don't know. That's just gross. It's just gross. Like, I don't know what man could be in a relationship like that. I could never be in a relationship like that. I'd be like, oh, hell no, girl. You get your shit. Get out. See you later. Do not pass go. Don't let the door hit you in the ass kind of thing. Now, look, if that works for you in your relationships, perfectly fine. I ain't got nothing against nobody. Whatever you do, you do. But I just know that couldn't happen around me. I wouldn't have no shit around me. Like, as soon as you said some shit like that, I'd be like, you got to go. I mean, it's just, I ain't got nothing against people that are like, into that lifestyle and nothing. If that works for your relationship, more power to you. But, that just ain't how I get down. So basically the police in Fruitland said there's going to be indictments coming, right? They're waiting for the grand jury to meet, whatever it is. Now, what if they meet and they don't bring down any indictments? That would be, but the sheriff dude there, what's his name? Huff. He's saying people going to jail. And I believe this guy because he got that kind of a cowboy vibe to him. Like, yo, he going to jail. They're going to jail. Somebody's going to jail. And I know who ain't going to jail. Me. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Okay. These people they're naming on the news, some of these people are going to jail. Good afternoon. Hey, little dove. Hey, Dumpling. Good to see you. Can I kick it? Good to see you guys. Thank you. If you are just tuning in, let's see if we can get me up to a solid 1,000 today likes. Okay. That seems to help in the algorithm. And just in the last week, guys, we've grown like a couple thousand subscribers. So thank you to everybody that subbed up. Everybody been liking the videos. That is super awesome of you. Definitely can't do it without you. All right. So once it hits about 1,000 likes or so, it seems like they recommend it to other people, and new people are starting to see the channel. And that's really important. So I can get that damn plaque on my wall, that little piece of wood that everybody seems to want, that can't get my hands on for some reason. I'll eventually be able to get me one. And all y'all got to do is sub up the channel. That's it. Simple as that. We got Summer Wells' birthday coming up. The disappearance of this girl. You know, people, like I explained last night that, you know, they're having this gathering for, let me pull the flyer up real quick, because every time I go to look for this flyer, I never have it. And right now I actually have the flyer. So I want to make sure you guys see it, because I was supposed to show it a couple different times. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. Okay, let me blow this up so you guys can see it. And let's jump over to it. All right, you are invited to attend a birthday honoring Summer Moon Wells, Friday, February 2nd, 2024, 6:30 p.m. Cedar Grove Baptist Church, 125 Colley Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. And that is 6:30 p.m. Now, a lot of people are saying, yo, we ain't going to the cult church. Okay, this ain't even the same church. This is a Baptist church. It says right there, Baptist. It's not the 7-day people. So it's no cult going to be there. And it's to honor little Summer Wells. Now, I haven't heard from Candace, but one of her friends hit me up and said, you know, you're invited, Dolly. But I didn't hear that from Don and Candace. So, but either way, even if it came from Don and Candace, I'm not going to be able to attend this. Okay, I ain't gonna be able to make it down there for that. So, but if you guys are around the Kingsport, Tennessee area on February 2nd, 6:30, you can go out and honor little Summer Wells. Now, I've heard people say different things. What can we do to honor her for a birthday? And a lot of people were saying switch your thumbnails to Summer Wells, right? And if we can get tons and tons of people do it, that would be really cool. A lot of people putting out, you know, the blue lights, purple lights, or releasing butterflies, balloons, different things of that nature. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll figure out something that we do to honor little Summer Wells. And we still want answers. There's still no answers for the little girl missing. Just in case you're tuning in and you're new and you don't know who Summer Wells is. She went missing out of Kingsport, Tennessee. A lot of people blame her family, but there's never been no proof, no solid proof. Anyway, some people say there's little pieces and clues on here out here on YouTube, but the police have no solid proof what happened to this little girl. They say there's no signs of abduction, but she's just gone. And we're going on what, 3 years? It's going on so long. I'm losing count. The years are going by so quick of how long some of these kids have been missing. I know this. It's too long. It's too long. We need some answers for little Summer Wells. And most people believe that Don and Candace hold those answers. Maybe Hunter. But at the same time, you can't believe some of these people sometimes. Like now we know we can't believe Hunter. So when he says he had nothing to do with the disappearance of Summer Wells, can we believe him? We couldn't even believe him about his mama passing away. they came up here and actually took a bunch of money from the internet. And all they had to really do was wait a few days. But I guess their grift fell apart. And I mean, that was pretty horrible. I don't know if any guys seen that, but it turned into a circus around this little girl and this Candace's mom about to pass away. She has, rest in peace to Allie, she has since passed away. And, you know, these people use that as a way to grift and try to scam off of the internet, which is absolutely horrible. Like I said, over these years on true crime, I've seen some crazy stuff. But to right now, that is the craziest. To use a woman that's on life support, that is, you know, all these lies and things to make a few bucks is probably the most horrible thing I've seen yet on the internet, especially because people are getting took because of this little girl, because of Summer. So many people care about this little girl in the true crime community on the internet that people, they can easily pull your heartstrings. And we've seen that happen. What was it, last week? So last week, that's kind of what we've seen happen. And this has been happening for a while in this community. Okay. Like, so many people have falsely took money saying they're going to do this for Summer Wells or do that, billboards from different things. And people have just given up so much money. And people are starting to be like, boom, and taking advantage of that situation and using this little girl for nothing but to make a buck. And we've seen that between Andrew and Hunter. It was all about, let's get on the internet, let's make some money off this little girl's name. And they basically said that. Now, how people support that or watch people that would do that. And, you know, of course, some people out here, they're trying to do damage control, blaming it on each other. And that's usually what happens when a couple people do something terrible. And that's how people get away with shit here. They team up and do it. So when you blame somebody, all they do is, no, I didn't do it, they did it. And then when you go to them, they're saying, no, I didn't do it, they did it. And what happens is neither one of those people have to take responsibility for what they did, because all they're going to do is blame it on each other. And that's what we've seen with Hunter and Andrew. Who's to blame? I don't know. He's blaming him. He's blaming him. You know what I'm saying? Then we play the blame game and nobody takes responsibility for anything. Money just gone. So don't fall for stuff like that. Like, I got to toughen my heart up a little bit out here on these YouTube streets, because they almost got me. Personally, me. You know, like, I was about to send this man $720 so he could jump on a bus he wasn't never going to get on. So, and that's all in the name of Summer Wells. Yeah, it's called Deflection. Yeah, I agree, you know, and we can't let, as a community, we can't let those things be taking place out here on the internet. We got to, you know, at least stand for some things that are like too effed up for like even the effed up people. When you hear bad people on the internet saying you're doing bad, you're doing bad. Okay. When grimy people, when like some of the most grimy YouTubers you can find are like, yo, that's effed up, it's bad. It's really bad then. Like, it's whole new level. Congratulations, Dumpling. An entire year flew by so quickly. Time flies, guys. Time flies. There's been a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of news cases that went down last year. It does seem like it went by pretty quick. Already January is almost over. We've had a good month this month. We're going to keep it going. I told you Dolly Vision is going to bring you some awesome shit this year, especially as soon as the weather breaks and I can start jumping around different places around the country. But it's cold right now. Dolly don't like the cold. So I've been trying to hibernate like a bear, save all my resources and my money, because I know I got a bunch of traveling that's going to be coming up. So I've just been trying to like stay here and not spend a dime, because when I start jumping on planes and traveling, then that's going to add up. So I need every cent I got. 2024 will be the summer and monkey year. Look, if something was to break like that, we would have the best year in the last few years in true crime, right? Even if you just found Summer, Monkey, I believe they know what happened to Monkey. I believe that we just had to accept it. I believe that the family is trying to accept it and they're trying to heal. You know, we just got to accept it. I believe the police know that Monkey's not with us. I don't think that, to be honest, guys, I'm gonna be 100. I don't think Summer's with us. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, it could be some Sound of Freedom stuff and she be somewhere and somebody have her. I just feel like something bad happened and somebody's covered this up. But here's the thing. You don't vanish in this world. If you go missing, somebody knows what happened to you. And eventually it comes out. I just pray it ain't one of these things that, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, somebody's hiking through the woods and they stumble across something. That would be horrible. And we know, especially in the area that Summer is, it's a remote area. It's rough terrain, a million places to hide a small child. Same thing in Fruitland. Okay. Fruitland is nothing but fields for miles, woods, rivers, lakes. There's a million trillion places that these people could have hid Michael. And I do believe he was moved, and I believe these people all have knowledge of it. I believe that Sarah and Brandon have more to do with this than anybody. Okay, Sarah wanted the baby. Matter of fact, I just made PJ watch Raising Arizona, the movie, the other night. I think we both fell asleep during it, but we did put it on to start watching it. And I don't know why I thought his name was Clyde. His name is Hyde. Because she's like, "Give me that baby." I thought she said Clyde, but it's High. "Give me that baby, High." Right? Don't come back without a baby. I'm feeling like that Sarah was like that. She wanted a baby, no matter what. And I think they tried to hide Monkey at first. I don't think they offed Monkey at first. I think the whole thing was to get a baby. And then when they got him and he's crying and he's screaming and he's not going with the program because he's not a small baby. Okay. He knows who his mom and daddy is for sure. He's flipping out and they don't know what to do. I think they hit him at first. That's why things are hitting at the mama of Brandon's house. And then I think whatever they decided to do was too much heat, and whatever they did, they did. I don't think they just grabbed him and off Monkey like that. Okay. And I pray to God his family ain't watching right now, because that's just horrible to even think. But yeah, I don't think the intent was let's grab a kid and let's kill it. I don't think that was the intent. She really wanted a baby. I think they thought they could just grab a baby and have one. And then when they grabbed the baby, they realized they couldn't have one, that it wasn't going to go like they should have just let him go. Mikey probably could have never explained to who them people were, but they were thinking, how these street criminals are there, like he's done seen us, and they probably did something horrible instead of just releasing this kid. I think they thought it was going to be one thing in their mind, and then when it happened, it was completely something different. Okay. Dumpling, happy birthday. Is it your birthday, Dumpling? Happy birthday to you, Dumpling. I didn't know it was your birthday. I seen you in the room. So we're going to find out what goes down. Like I said, we'll hear a little bit more about what he said. Good Lord. Hold on. What he said transpired. Okay. Now, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to open the phone lines for a few. Give me a second. Let me pull them up. I want to see what you guys have to say about some of the stuff we talked about today, from the 3 that died in Kansas City to what's going on with Michael Vaughan to what's going on with Summer Wells. And I heard Jody Sue Brown is on tour today, that she's speaking out today. Now, Jody Sue's had a lot to say. And look, I used to believe Jody Sue, but I'm one of them people, when you start lying to me, I don't believe anything you say anymore. And I just completely stop watching you. Once I don't feel like your information is important, I feel like I'm taken away from time that I could be watching something important. Right? So when you start telling things, partial truths and half lies and things of that nature for clicks and views, then I stop messing with you. Like in the beginning, to me, she was a witness. Then she became a YouTuber. It's Dumpling's channel's birthday. Oh man, a year flies by quick. Well, happy birthday to your channel, Dumpling. Okay, one good solid year. Guys, if you haven't, make sure you check out TCC Dumpling. Cool chick, cool channel. Does a lot of true crime. Okay. Happy birthday to your channel there, Dumpling. So, phone lines are now open. Let me put the call-in number on the screen. Give me 1 second. Let me go to my banners. That is the call-in number right there. 757-797-6694. Let me refresh it because we were having some problems with it last night. Okay, now it's refreshed. Phone lines are open. Let's hear what you guys got to say. What do you think about the whole Michael Monkey Vaughan? Who's responsible? Are y'all showing up to the Summer's birthday? What should we do to honor Summer on her birthday? That's a good question. And what do you think about these 3 people dead outside their friend's home? He's lawyered up. He don't know nothing about it. Just dead and gone. Dead and gone. Hey, Dolly. Hope you good, dude. On the beach. I'm doing really good today. I can't complain. I ain't been up too long. I got up around 11:30. I've been here with you guys for a little over an hour now. So my day's just really getting started. I got up, I drank me some coffee. I started replying back to all you guys' comments. And there's been a lot of comments lately, guys. And just so you know, I read everyone. And I've been trying to reply back to them, to many as I can. So thank you guys. And I believe that's helping us in our videos a little bit in the algorithm. So I've been trying to hit, if you leave a comment, definitely after the video, drop a comment, even if it's like, hey, Dolly, what's up? It helps us. The likes and their interaction is helping get the videos out there a little bit more. So I appreciate it. Jody Sue Brown doesn't lie. She talks in riddles to protect herself. Andy will come for her. She's tried to tell what she knows without getting herself beat or arrested. I don't know, Sidekick. I don't really know that to be true. Now, I've spoke with Jody, and maybe one of these days when I'm down in Tennessee, I'll sit down with her and we have a little talk off of YouTube. To me, she's become a YouTuber. That is what I don't like. Because then you have invested interest in clicks and views. You just do. Even Dolly. Right? But to me, I'm thinking, is your motive really you trying to do something good? Or are you trying to get clicks and views? And I just feel like in the beginning it was good. And then it became to, oh, I can turn this into something. That's a little scary to me. Because, see, I was already doing this. I was already YouTubing. I didn't come in this and create a channel off of Summer Wells. I was already a YouTuber. I didn't be like, oh, well, there's a story going on around me. Let me become a YouTuber off of that. And then just talk just that. So that's why I don't really like, you have a reason to lie. You have a reason to make up stories. And she may not be. But that's just how I. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Granny Bassmaster.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I was calling about them that's found outside in Kansas.
Yeah. A little strange.
Sounds like to me they might have got a hold of some bad moonshine.
Moonshine?
Oh, yeah. Bad moonshine will kill your butt.
Oh, Lord. I think they might have got a hold of some
Real
bad
quick.
drugs.
Well, I'd check them for that. If they didn't do it right and they passed it through copper pipe, that'll kill your lead pipe. That'll kill you quick.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they said they didn't find any drugs or anything at the scene. So something killed them.
Something killed them. I think they were dead out there. I mean, nothing. They died outside. They did not freeze outside. I believe they died outside. Then they froze.
Yeah,
But,
they definitely died first. I don't think they froze to death. They died and then sat out there and froze.
Well, this old man of mine, he got into some moonshine back in our younger years when we were out with hitting a honky tonk. And we got home. I had to drive home. I knew not to let him go outside, but I did because my brother-in-law went. And he laid out in the yard screaming, "I've been poisoned! Ew!"
Oh, Lord.
You know, and I can't. I was real tiny. I couldn't lift him up. But moonshine will mess you up.
Oh, yeah. I've had my run-in with some drinking in my day, so I know that.
Especially if they haven't done it right.
Yeah.
And this Stacy Wondra, Sarah Wondra is about 2 fries short of a Happy Meal. I don't know what to think about her. She's just crazy.
Yeah, and it's that whole "I want a baby" thing.
Well, you can't believe none of them. I don't know. There's something that I don't feel right about this. Even where Stacy's concerned. I don't know. You can't tell me they could have done this without him knowing it.
Or he does
especially
know.
if they brought him home.
Or he does know and he's covering for him.
Well, he better start thinking because his butt's going to be in there if not.
That's what I think, too.
But I just wanted to tell you about the moonshine.
Okay, I'm going to stay away from that moonshine.
That'll kill you.
Yeah.
All right, I love you. Watch Top Notch.
All right, peace.
Bye.
I went to a moonshine distillery in Eastern Tennessee when I was in Eastern Tennessee. And I forget what Eastern Tennessee Distillery, I think, is the name of the place. And I went in, the lady had a parrot. I don't know if any of y'all are from that area. She has a fucking talking bird, and she makes moonshine. And the average moonshine is like 80 proof or something like that. And they usually flavor it. They got this other stuff. It's called, what is it? Straight off the tap. And it's 186 proof. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's Sweetleaf.
Hey, Sweetleaf, what you up to?
Hey, when Stacy and Brandon and his wife went out to get the BMW, did the other guy go with them?
When they went out to get the Mercedes, you mean?
Yeah.
No, they said they dropped him off earlier that day.
Okay.
But they couldn't have dropped him off earlier that day because at 4:47-ish or something, there was a picture of them at Applebee's with him.
Okay, well, I was just wondering if, what's the girlfriend's name or wife's name again?
Sarah.
I wonder if Sarah and Brandon was trying to get Stacy out of the house so that the other guy could get rid of the kid because they knew that it was going to freak him out somehow or something. Maybe that's the piece we're missing.
Or maybe they did something and then told him and he's trying to cover for his wife.
I don't know that they could have told them.
Or he
because as soon as they came with the warrant, Sarah, she was off to the races of blaming Stacy and he did this and he did that. Like, she just was like, you know,
I know.
wanting to blame everybody but herself.
What do you tell a man that loves a woman that'll take blame for her? You can't tell him anything because he's going to do whatever the hell he's going to do. He's going to defend that woman. And what I think it is Brandon and her did something to Michael, and he don't want to tell on her. That's what I truly believe. I mean, I don't know that to be a fact. He could have nothing. He could have done.
I think it all happened after the fact of what Brandon and Sarah did.
I know this. They don't trust Stacy. I mean, they don't trust him. And that's why.
Because he'll save his ass.
He'll talk. That's why they don't trust him. And that's why he don't know where Monkey is at right now. Because
exactly.
And they didn't tell him where they moved him because they know he will talk.
Yeah, and the time that they left to go pick up that car, that was right around that time, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah. And also the time that Brandon was caught on CCTV, on the cameras, walking through the neighborhood. So Brandon is somewhat, it ain't like he's an innocent victim in this. He's got something to do with this 100% for sure. If not more than Stacy.
That's weird. Has Brandy ever talked to Stacy, or she's not allowed to, or anything?
I don't think so. I think that Stacy knows, but I think Brandon and Sarah is who's responsible for this.
What do you know what Brandy thinks about Stacy's?
No, I haven't talked to her about. I probably wouldn't even ask her nothing like that. So I haven't asked her. I haven't talked to her about it or any of that things.
Well, she's got a mother's intuition, and
yeah, she's going through some hard stuff right now. I know this is hard for her to see and hear and things of this nature right now. So hopefully, whatever happens sooner or later.
Well, these 3 guys that died in the backyard, maybe they took a break and went outside to do something, and with maybe this other guy or whatever, and whatever they did, they dropped dead right there. Maybe he didn't have to drag them outside. Maybe, they was outside, and then whatever they did it outside.
Yeah, possible.
Make a little something that had a little something on it, and boom, down they went.
Yeah, but they would have found it outside. They didn't find no drugs.
He had 3 days to clean up whatever he wanted to clean up.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything he wanted.
Okay, Sweet Leaf, you be good. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, bye, Turtle Gang.
All right, peace. So yeah, I mean, he had time to get rid of anything that may have been there. So here's going to be the thing. They're going to come back. It's going to be drugs in their system, but they didn't find no drugs. They didn't find no paraphernalia. Where did that go? Okay, it didn't vanish. So the guy in the house knows what happened. There's no doubt in my mind this dude has some knowledge of what went down in the Kansas City house. Okay? The Sarah thing is, I do believe that Brandon is the person that probably grabbed Monkey. Okay? He's the one that could, a little more athletic, a little bit more fit, just in case little Monkey tried to run. He could probably easily run Monkey down. I don't see Stacy really being a track star. Let's be honest. I don't see him getting anywhere any quick at all. So it's weird that Stacy seen him, but believes it wasn't him. But listen, I don't believe there was any other kids out at that time. Monkey was looking for a kid to play with. I believe at the distance he may have seen him. Did Brandon before he knew? No. Give me a second, caller. Why can't I answer this? Hold on. I'm having some difficulties. Hold on, I can't get to my answer button. Give me 1 second. Let me move this. Okay, why is it not showing me where you answer the damn phone at? All right, let me reopen my phone lines. Give me 1 second, guys. I was having some technical problems there. Let me move this back over here. I don't know what's going on with my phone lines, but something's messed up with them. Hide keypad. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me catch up on the chat a minute. Let's see. Free one call magic. Android ensure iPhone 2. Yep. Come on, Dolly. Well, look, my phone lines are messing up. Like when you call, it don't give me the option to answer. There it is. See, I had to reset it. Dolly. It don't give me the option to answer. Dolly.
Hello.
Hey, you guys hear me down in the background?
Okay, yeah, I did. I don't know a lot about the Michael Vaughan case. So, were these names that are being thrown out, were they family, friends of the family?
No, complete strangers. They live in the neighborhood adjacent to the Vaughan family.
Okay, so how did police hone in on them then?
A tip led them to them, and Stacy, the gentleman that we interviewed the other night, he was in jail.
Right, I saw that.
And while he was in jail, he told the police that the baby was dead, buried in the backyard. The police went and excavated the backyard, but didn't find anything.
Okay.
So that's where it got strange. But he said,
and then dogs have hit on places that they're connected to, correct?
Yes, cadaver dogs.
Yeah. Okay. That was it. I just wondered because I haven't heard any of the beginning of the story. I just hear what's going on right now.
And then when they arrested Sarah, she was saying that Stacy did it, that God told her that Stacy had something to do with it. And then they put her in jail.
That God told her?
God, Jesus, God, little baby Jesus. God was telling her Stacy was responsible for it and things of that nature. She told her mother these things. And then when Stacy goes to jail, of course, he says that the baby's in the yard. So there's a lot of strange things going around it. And the police saying there's indictments coming down and some people are going to be indicted on charges. So it's possible that he could be one of the people that gets indicted.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if there was a previous connection, and that's why.
No, they had no clue. The Vaughan family had never met these people, ever.
And when you're saying that he was he taken from his yard?
He was taken from the street that he lived off of. He wasn't in his yard. He was out playing, wandering around, and he got snatched. His daddy went to change his sister. And while he was changing the sister, Mikey slipped out the house and was outside playing. And in that time, he was kidnapped.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. Well, thank you for that because I've been wondering. I can't really find it anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. I appreciate you calling.
All right. Have a great afternoon.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Look, you can never go back in the past and change anything. You know, what's done is done. But this is a good reminder, people, like if you have small children that like to wander or get out, you know, and it happens to the best. You can't keep your eyes on your kid 24/7. They have little locks and latches that you can get, you know, that kids can't reach. And it's best to get Dolly.
Yeah, keep your children safe. Keep them close.
Definitely. And like I was telling the people that, you know, they have these child safety locks that you can add to your door at the top that kids can't reach. And I mean, like I said, you can't go back and change time. That ain't going to help Michael's case, but it may help another family in the future to learn from, you know, that you take your eye off your kid for 1 second, it could get right out the sliding glass door, it can go out the front door, it can go out the side door. And it don't take but a minute. There's monsters out there, and we seen that in this case. It don't take but just a couple minutes to take your eyes off your kid and gone.
Now, the Summer Wells case is a totally different case. There ain't no way nobody come up on that hill and snatch that little girl.
You didn't even know that house was there. When I've been to that house 3 times before I finally went up to it. And when you're out there in the summertime, you can't see the house. So I never knew exactly where the house was even at until I went up there this time.
I still believe that David Dotson got that little girl in his condominium.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many rumors and speculation on the Summer Wells stuff. I just know it's almost been another year and still not one answer. And you look, if you believe anything on the internet, I just don't know because it's so muddy of what is real on the internet. We just got to go back to the day she went missing. There's nothing.
There's one person that knows where that child is. I don't care what you say. The last person to see her is the person who knows where she's at.
Right.
And she was not 30 feet away, and my daughter get kidnapped. No way in hell.
And that would be Candace. You know, that would be
Candace.
Yeah. So.
And she either knows what happens, or Don knows what one of them two. And they would be in there and interrogating the shit out of them. They wouldn't get out till they told.
I've always felt like that. I've always felt like it was something. And I've even told Don, I've had this conversation in person with Don, and he says, man, that's not true, that he don't have anything to fucking do with it. And I mean, I can't shake the truth out of the man. You know what I'm saying? I could just ask him the question.
His maker will tell him.
Yeah,
he got a seat down there burning.
Now, if it was an accident and they covering it up, is one thing. But if they did something horrible to this kid, and then they're getting away with murder, that's even worse. I mean, if they covered it up, they got to live with that demon that they lost when they're a child. You know what I'm saying?
Just think, it's a highly possibility the same family has 2 people disappear, no trace, can't find them whatsoever.
They good. Don't go messing with them.
They ought to play the lottery. They should win.
I don't know. I don't know if that's good luck or if is that bad luck.
Well, I'm just saying, you got 2 people in your family that disappear with no trace.
Not a clue.
Ever.
Not one clue in either case, either. Not even close to a clue.
So somebody knows how to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't go.
And there ain't but one person that would know how to do it.
Yeah, maybe. There's only one person that knows where to sell kids at too out there.
Yeah.
But look,
and that's a good possibility. The selling part.
Yeah. After I watched that movie, I didn't doubt it anymore. I was like, okay, maybe you can sell a kid in this world
for a lot of money or dope.
Yep. Hey, I appreciate you calling.
It's Doug from Tennessee.
All right, Doug, you be good.
See you. Bye.
Peace. All right, let's see. Will you ask Stacy later how long Brandon stayed with them after Monkey went missing? Did he jump ship right after or stay for longer? I think he stayed a little bit longer, but yeah, just make sure you stop by tonight and you can ask him that question yourself. Okay. Somewhere around, I figure he's going to talk with Justin. Justin talks really slow. So it's going to take a while. They're going to do that today. I don't know, or 6ish. And then after that, we'll have them up here around 9 o'clock tonight, and y'all can Q&A them, interrogate them, ask them whatever you want to ask them. And he's willing. Here's the thing. He hasn't ducked one question I asked him. That don't mean he's been truthful with his answers. He's left pieces out for sure. Okay. And we're going to dig that up out of him tonight. The pieces he's left out, because I'm going to ask him, why didn't you fill me in on this? And you knew these things. What else are you leaving out? Okay. So we're going to ask him that. I have a few questions. I'm not going to interview him like I did last time, where I just fire off questions. I'm going to let you guys fire them questions off, and I'm just going to ask them. All right. I'll pull it up on the screen, read your question, let them respond. All right. So A lot of people were like, Dolly asked him this, we asked him this. I'm giving you guys that opportunity to ask him. He's not going to run. He's not going to duck your questions. You know, I told him I brought him up here. He couldn't. If they're tough, they're tough. So he will be, like I said, he'll be here. What's the name of the movie Dolly mentioned earlier? Oh, the movie I mentioned was Raising Arizona. It's an old movie with Nicolas Cage about a lady who wants a baby. So they find this family that had, what is it, quintuplets, where they have 5 babies, and they went and kidnapped one. All right. And then they send this biker dude from hell that tracks down baby snatchers. It's an older movie. It's pretty good. We started watching it again. I hadn't seen it in years, but we started watching it again the other night. I mentioned a couple movies. I mentioned that one, Sound of Freedom, you know, where people are selling kids and things of that nature. I mean, that's that whole movement that's going on right now. Our kids are not for sale. And they shouldn't be. Like, we got to get rid of these monsters in Hollywood and things of that nature that are destroying kids, not just hurting them. Okay, destroying. And even if they make it out of it, by the time they make it out of that, they are so mentally beat that it's insane. Okay, that movie's hard to watch. Who is in the vehicle? It's weird how they had to put fluids in the vehicle by where Monkey was. Spread love. 75157 says. Yes. And then, you know, that's where he seen the kid. Look, I know the area, guys. Like, I've been there. Okay. I was there for days. I rode around that area, walked that area, searched that area. Like, I must have walked 30 miles around that neighborhood. I must have walked that neighborhood 10 times. I know exactly where he was at, and that is an eyesight of where Monkey's at. Exactly. The only difference is Monkey, you got to break that corner. Okay. I'm not going to tell exactly where the kid lives or his family lives, but you break a corner. So that street ain't the street Mikey lives on. It's the adjacent street, and it's around the corner from that. But if Mikey walked to the corner where his friends lived, where we see that boat, he would have been in eyesight of where the vehicle they were putting the power steering fluid in the vehicle. Okay. Now, I don't know if Mikey was walking towards the splash pad and why Brandon was on foot, but there's a reason he was on foot that day. And the reason he was on foot is because he had to get out the vehicle to get something. And he got caught on camera. What was he getting? I don't know. So, and if you loved your significant other, would you tell? Or would you cover for them? Because I honestly truly believe they didn't want to hurt the baby. They just wanted a baby. And Brandon probably is like, all right, I'll get you a baby. Then when they got the baby, Monkey was probably going crazy. I mean, this is just, you know, a theory. I don't know for sure. But at his age, he looked like a smart little boy. He knows his mama. He knows his daddy. He knows you ain't them. I'm sure he had a little stranger danger concept. Especially when you grabbed him. He probably panicked. Scared to death. And y'all thought that y'all could like that was going to go away, but it didn't. I think they hid him. I think they took him and they hid him. And then when they realized that, oh, this ain't what we thought this was going to be, and it's more heat than they could even humanly imagine. Maybe, you know, when Brandon and Sarah went back the next day, they've done something or took him somewhere and done something with Michael Monkey Vaughan. Why did they go back the next day? That's a big question. Why did Sarah and Brandon go back to his mama's house the next day if they were just there that night? Did he go back to get the clothes that he didn't need to wash or dry because there was a washer and dryer at Sarah and Stacy's? Brandon has some play in this. Okay. And if he ain't indicted on this, I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked. They have more evidence against Brandon than they do against Stacy. I mean, they got this man on tape walking at around the time frame that he went missing. And according to Stacy, this man walks the neighborhood. Stacy's times are wrong. I don't know if he purposely is putting the times off or that from memory is off. Something is not completely right on the stories. Something's not right from what Brandon is putting out through sources. Okay. Just remember, all us YouTubers, we know each other and we all talk behind the scenes. Okay. And even though you ain't saying nothing to me, you're saying stuff to people I know. Okay. And these people are talking behind the scenes. It won't be long and you will see some of them show their face. If I was Brandon, I'd start talking because you in trouble, bro. You in trouble. I know you're getting indicted. I know you're getting indicted. You are the dude on tape. There's no doubt in my mind when I look at you and I look at the dude on CCTV, the cameras, it's you. So how you ain't getting indicted, there ain't no doubt in my mind. You're getting indicted. I believe Sarah's getting indicted. I believe that Stacy probably will get indicted and they're going to flip Stacy. And they knew this. They knew this. That's why they moved them because they knew Stacy was going to tell. They knew Stacy was going to tell. I believe that. That's what I'm thinking. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. And that's why they're not messing with Stacy right now. Once these indictments are coming down, they're going to get Stacy in there and Stacy's going to talk. He's going to talk. It's almost like he wants to tell it now, but don't want to turn on his wife. When you because you ask him, say, well, are you still, he's like, well, I don't want to talk to her. I ain't trying to deal with this. But is that really the truth? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle of that. At some point, he cared about this woman because he married her. I just can't come up with the motive. Someone wants a baby doesn't make the. Well, listen, if you want a baby bad enough, listen, there's women. Why do you think they put locks on maternity wards? Why do you think they put these security bands on babies and shit now when they're born? Why do you think only one person and stuff is allowed in the nursery at a time? There has to be a nurse with you because people steal babies. Simple as that, right? They'll go in a hospital, they'll grab a baby and they'll try to run with it. Like there's women out here that want nothing but a baby. They grew up playing with baby dolls, fake babies, and they get older, they want a real baby. Like the baby doll ain't doing it no more. They got to have some real live crying and shitting. You know what I'm saying? And they go out and they try to snatch these babies. That's why there's locks on the doors on the maternity ward at the hospital. It's because people will grab your baby and run. People love little tiny babies because then as they grow, they don't know you ain't their parent. You grab a kid that is 5, 6 years old, monkey bucked. They wasn't playing. They thought they were going to grab him like he's a baby and he's going to go, oh, I want to be your kid. Like he's a baby doll or like he's a toy. Kids are not toys. They don't operate like that. Okay. That kid at 5 years old knew you wasn't his parent. He was crying. He was screaming. He wasn't stopping. This probably goes into why they were stopping getting milk. We know how kids like milk. Get the kid some milk. He'll shut up. He ain't a baby. They didn't plan for him being upset and crying and them not being able to control this child. I don't think they planned for that. And that's where everything went wrong. That's where everything gets sad. This is where this turns into a horror story. These people just had to let this boy go. That's it. At that age, he probably couldn't identify you. But they were probably scared and they've done something horrible to this kid and they're going to pay for that. You know, I would not be covering for my wife in a situation like this. I just wouldn't. Now, I don't know if that's the case. Stacey could be telling the truth. I ain't got nothing to do with this. We just all be wrong. It's internet speculation. But the police are saying this also, that these people are involved. And the police truly believe these things. Now, listen, I ain't saying the police can't be wrong. You know, we can't say the police can't lie. The police can say whatever they want. The police can lie all they want. When they say dogs hit on that yard, they said that. That is true. Does that make it truth? No. The police can absolutely lie. We know that. They can withhold evidence. They can lie. They don't got to tell the public that they ain't got to tell us shit that's true. They can say whatever they want to say. They only have to prove it true in the court of law. They can tell you anything when they're interrogating. And they can be like, the dog hit on you. You failed a lie detector test. Watch American Nightmare. They got in that boy's face, said, you're lying. You failed the test. You killed this girl. You can go to jail as a coward, a scumbag, or you can tell us where her body's at. They screamed in this boy's face for 18 hours. The woman showed up 2 days later, unharmed. They said they were screaming. I'm calling my I mean, the worst things you could, and they were lying. Everything they said to this boy was a lie. He knew he was telling the truth, and he just stuck with what he said. And his truth was the craziest story in the world, but it was the truth. It never changed. These people, they don't have to be honest with us. Or they hitting on the yard. He could have went to him and said, yeah, the dogs hit on the yard. We know the body was there. That don't make it fact. That just it makes it truth that they said it. Yeah, they did say that. That's true. But is it fact? There's a big difference. There's a big difference because the police can tell us what they want to tell us. We learned that in Idaho 4. Okay, I was like, they completely lied. They had a suspect. They didn't give us the suspect. They withheld information. They did everything they could not to tell you who the hell did this. They knew it was a white man. They knew he was over 6 foot. They knew he was slender. They knew he had bushy eyebrows. They didn't release none of that to the public. The whole public was in danger. We're talking about a college with women and where women had just been brutally murdered. The police came out and straight up lied. They said the roommates were asleep. The roommates witnessed it, but they didn't tell us that. Okay, they didn't tell us that. They said they were asleep. They lied, just straight up lied. Just lied to the public, lied to everybody. They had a witness. They had somebody, they could have drew a sketch of them. They never did that. Google Me has been a member for 22 months. Big love. That's a long damn time, Google Me. Good Lord. Anyway, a lot of strange things. Will we ever get answers for the 3 dead bodies? The Kansas City people? Dolly, can you show the video pic of Brandon? Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if that pulls it up. Suspect. All right, here he is. All right, let's share this. That is the picture, which I believe is Brandon. Can I blow this picture up any? Hold on. A year without Michael. Okay, here we go. So I asked Stacy what he was wearing that day. And he said that Brandon was wearing shorts and tennis shoes and a t-shirt. Okay. Now here we go. Here's Brandon and shorts, shoes, tennis shirt, and a ball cap. Now here's the thing. The last picture I've seen of Brandon, he had a ball cap on too. Men, common ball cap. I wear a ball cap. It ain't me. I'm not that tall or that skinny either. So he has the same build as Brandon. He's in the same neighborhood Brandon's in at the same around time. He's wearing similar clothes to what Brandon was wearing. Okay. And it's almost like he knew he was walking past this. Is he talking on the phone to somebody? Okay. Or they're communicating with him. Is he talking to somebody and walking at the same time? Because it looks like he has his hand up to his ear like he's holding a phone. So are they plotting on something? Is somebody telling him something and he's walking? Or is it, did he know he was walking past that camera across from the splash pad and he covers his face? Because that camera's visible. It's right on the front porch. You can see it. Okay, I've been there. I walked over to the house. I looked at the camera. I'm assuming that camera has me on camera because I was there. That exact same spot he's standing in. So I believe this to be Brandon for sure. Let me see what this blog is about. Okay, there's the second one where they catch his vehicle. The vehicle is Stacy's. This is across from the splash pad. So this, I believe, I don't know exactly what time this is. Hold on. On October 21st, on October 2021, Fruitland Police Department announced that they had asked for help identifying a car that was seen in the area at the time that Michael went missing. Police believe the car below is a 2018 white Honda Pilot. The car was seen on surveillance footage leaving the area on Southwest 8th Street at 6:47 p.m. that afternoon. Okay. Now, this would have been the time exactly that Michael went missing. Did they say the time that they pictured this guy? Hold on. Let's see. While the man is not a suspect, a person of interest at this time, police want to speak with him to determine his whereabouts and if he witnessed anything that may be helpful to an investigation. Fruitland, please help me brief. Does it say what time they seen this picture? He's in his 20s and to his 30s. That fits in the time frame of Brandon. White t-shirt, cut off sleeves, dark colored shoes, and a hat. I also asked Stacy, did he wear his sleeves cut off? And he said he didn't know. But if you look at the build, you look at the height, could be a shadow. But either he's like, he got his hand to his head like this. Either he's trying to block his face or he's using the phone. I'm not quite sure. But one or the other. And it don't say exactly what time this picture was taken. So yeah, I might have to do a little research to figure out what time this picture was taken. But that one was said 6:47, and that is around the time that Michael went missing. And as you see, this vehicle has dark tint. You can't see in it. Okay. But that was the person seen on CCTV. And yes, it absolutely looks like Brandon. Now, I can't say for a fact because, look, it seems like it's 2024. I have security cameras on my house. My shit is in 4K. Like, I can see the sweat come off your head. I don't know why every time we get a picture of something from a camera, it's always worse than a Bigfoot. That is Stacy's car, right? Yes. Right? And listen, before this came out, I was telling you guys about the white car. All right. And who the white car belonged to. The white car, I learned, and this is how I learned this. And at this time, I don't even think Brandy knew. Her daddy, her father-in-law knew that car belonged to somebody in the neighborhood because one of the detectives told him. Okay. And he says it when I'm sitting there talking to him. He was like, yeah, the car is like, it belongs to some people over there. And like, and I think that was a shocker to me. It was a shocker to Brandy. Like at this time, because none of this was out yet. You got to remember at the time that I was in Fruitland, they hadn't named them or they were still looking for the car. Okay. So when I'm sitting there and talking, and the father-in-law, he drops a bomb that they know whose the car is. And at that point, I knew they had a suspect. I knew at that point that when they knew who that car belonged to, that they had something. And I truly believe the first lead was that vehicle. Okay. Now, Stacy, we asked Stacy, he don't know how they were tipped off. Was it Adrian or was it the vehicle that gave you away? Right? Most likely it was the vehicle. They find this vehicle, they start digging. Once they start digging, they have their questions. Once they had that first question, that question leads to a rabbit hole of questions. That leads to them coming to question him. That leads to digging up the yard. That leads to him lying to the police. Different things of that nature. But either way, this is going to come to a conclusion. This ain't like the Summer case where we're going to wait forever to find out what happened. We're not. We're going to know within the year 2024. We will know what happened to Michael Monkey Vaughan, and people are going to pay for it. Now, if we could get Summer Wells in there, would be great. But dude, this Summer Wells story is the craziest story on the planet. It is straight out of a Twilight Zone movie. It is the most dysfunctional family that you could ever have involved in a true crime case. Everything around it seems insane. There's more misinformation in the Summer Wells case than any other crime case I've ever seen. I mean, you can go into the Chris Watts and the damn, who else? Like the Innocent Project just picked up Scott Peterson. That's crazy. How many people think he's innocent? Apparently these professional people do. I don't, right? I'm like, but we're going to hear more about that. And I will be covering some of that stuff, the Scott Peterson stuff. I do remember when that all went down. You know, it's crazy that it's coming back to light again. And I don't know how people think this man's innocent, but apparently they do. And I got to hear some of these reasons. But I know this, if you spin things enough, you can make anybody look innocent. You can make anybody look innocent. HBO, they made the West Memphis 3 look innocent. I hate HBO since then. I've had a grudge against HBO since that. I was like, they just made, to me, and I know people are going to argue this. People hate my opinion on this one. I believe they let 3 child killers go. I don't care what y'all say. You can have a different opinion. You're entitled to that. But I believe that HBO, along with Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, Dixie Chicks, they helped 3 child killers get out of prison. That's what I mean about spinning a story. You get the right creators and the right director, and next thing you know, these people look innocent. But are they innocent, or did you just get got by a really good production? And I felt that HBO did a really good production and freed a bunch of child killers. It's horrible. And I watch families sell their kids out. It disgusts me. You hurt my kid, you could have $100 trillion. You could have all the money in this world, and it wouldn't mean a thing to me. Not one thing. These people sold their kids out for money. It's horrible. That's why I don't like talking about it, because it to me, them are the worst crimes in this whole world. I know that nothing's going to bring people's kids back, and they decide, okay, I'm just going to take this money, this hush money. That's the worst thing you could ever did for your child. Like, them kids that died that day, they deserve better than that. They deserve better than that in this world, and they deserve better than that from their parents. So I couldn't see me being bought like that. But we live in a world where people can be bought and sold, where a good production can free a monster. And I just don't like it. You know, that upsets me. Why it pisses me off so bad? I don't know. I don't know why it pisses me off so bad. It just does. Because one, I was these kids around the same time. I was a metalhead. I had long hair. I'm wearing Slayer t-shirts, Cannibal Corpse, everything that these kids were, I was too. But you know what I wasn't? A monster and a murderer. I wasn't a Satanist, right? And these kids were. I knew kids that were acted like that when I was young, and I never believed them. I just think, you know, they used being different as an excuse. Oh, they messed with us because we were different. Well, you know what? I was different than everybody. All right. Nobody ever accused me of killing people. Nobody ever accused me of hurting people. I never talked about drinking blood, how powerful it would make you. You know what I'm saying? These people were. And where every other metalhead, even my friends, were defending these people, I never did. I never did. Because you the same as me, I got to defend you? No, we ain't the same. We may look the same. We may listen to the same kinds of music. We may run with the similar kind of people, but we ain't the same. And I knew that. I knew that young. I was like, okay, they did this. These fake Satanists, young kids that think, oh, I'm into devil worshiping and shit. It's like a joke. It's almost like a joke. It's not real. You know, it's like, oh, this is the cool thing to do. I want to be a little Satanist. But it's not real. Like, there are real evil people in this world. And when them people, these evil people, reach out to help you, that's because you're an evil fucking person too. Evil people don't help good people. They don't. When you see people in the satanic church donating money to something, you can believe it's something bad. It is something bad. And you can, in this world we live in, you can buy your freedom. You can buy your freedom. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. You can chop somebody's head off. You can go out there and you can brutally murder people. And I'm talking small children. And if you got enough money in this country, you can walk. Facts. If people can tell me you wrong, Dolly. Well, I can show you 100 instances where I'm absolutely right. Where guilty people have bought their freedom. Paid their way to get out of prison. We got a rapper right now that's out here on the street that paid Donald Trump. All right. Everybody on the streets knows what he paid and everything. He talks about what he paid to get out. He got out of prison. He had federal gun charges. So they you get to pardon people, and Donald Trump pardons a rapper? He pardons Kodak Black. I don't know if any of y'all know who that is. There's nothing about Kodak Black that says pardon or anything about Kodak Black that says let him out of prison. You know what he had? He had the money, and he was willing to pay it. Now he walks around with a damn Donald Trump hat on. I don't blame him. If I could buy myself out of prison, I would walk around with a Donald J fucking Trump hat on too. You know what I'm saying? Whoever got me out. But he is a free man right now because he paid his way out of prison. That is the world we live in. Where if you got the money, it don't matter what you did. You got the right people saying the right things, doing favors and scratching backs, and you got the right powerful people around you. You can almost get out of anything. Like there's some people that don't believe that one dude that slipped on a banana peel. I ain't gonna say his name. You know, he had an island. A lot of people don't think he's dead at all. Not even close. See what I'm saying? In the world we live in, a lot of shit is smoke and mirrors. That's it. Smoke and mirrors. The Dolly Vision channel is for entertainment purposes only. views, opinions of Dolly. And okay, yeah, thank you for the public service reminder. It is truly disgusting. I saw that when I got called up years ago. It's all about the money. Yeah, like, here's the thing. You go out and hire a shitty lawyer, you're going to jail. All right, because if you ain't got money, you can't afford a good lawyer. You go get a really good attorney. You go get a Karen Reed attorney. All right. They're going to get you out of anything. Sometimes these attorneys are smarter than the judges. Or you'll have a dumbass judge and a smart ass attorney that knows, the attorney knows the law better than the judge does. And some of these attorneys are going to be future judges. So yeah, you get the right attorney, the right amount of money. He's golfing buddies with the judge. Okay. Money will get you out of stuff, right? Like, you get a good attorney. Dolly has good attorneys. You don't even got to go to court. You don't even got to go. You don't even show up. Like, you don't even got to be there. Like, they go as you, you know? Like, y'all didn't see me taking a bunch of trips out of state, but I had these charges out of state. Nah, my lawyer just shows up as me. So you got a good attorney. Yeah, you have to do something really horrible in this world to really get put away if you have the money for a good attorney. Just say you commit a minor crime, you're not getting into trouble. The lawyer's going to get you out of so much shit, right? You get in some major trouble, you kill somebody, it's a little bit harder, but then they still have their ways. It's depending on how powerful you are and how much money you have. And if you got powerful people that's going to stand up for you, unlike Murdoch, right? I think some of them people are trying to knock him out of place so they could get his place. That Alex Murdoch thing. He lost a lot of powerful people and they wanted him to go down. Sometimes the powers that be don't want to see you in place no more. Sometimes the only way you can knock off some of these powerful families is to get them up out of there. So other powerful families can take power. Everything in this world is about power to all these people, to these rich people. Like, you can only get so much money. Then when you get that money, then you want power, because then money don't mean nothing to you anymore. It's just power at that point. Why you think these rich ass people, when they got all the money, they want to be president, they want to do this, they want to be leaders because they want that power. That is the ultimate. Once you have all the money you can have, there's nothing left but power. And these people are so greedy that they want the power and as much of it as they can have. That's the world we live in, people. Just remember that. Just remember that. Okay, look, I've been here a couple hours. I'm going to get out of here for a little while. I'm going to go eat me some lunch, get me something to drink, get my smoke on. I'll see you guys later this afternoon. I'll be back with some other videos. I'm going to try to clip out the phone call of the Stacy lady that called about renting him that house. I need somebody to do clips for me. If anybody want to volunteer to do clips for me, let me know. Hit me up in my DMs or something like that. I need people to cut out the cool shit from my show so I can post it as videos. Only when it's good stuff, like if a good call comes through or we're talking about a good little segment, but the show's 2 hours long. Nobody wants to watch a 2-hour show to get to a 10-minute segment. So I need somebody to cut out the cool shit in the show so it can post as its own part. So people that don't want to watch a 4-hour live stream can watch a 20-minute clip. So I need me a good clip person. I'll be back tonight, of course, with Stacy to answer you guys' questions. He'll be here to answer your questions. So if you got some tough ones for him, tonight is the night to ask. He said he's not going to run away. He'll take all questions. So I'll see you guys in a little while, probably around, 3:30ish or so. And then I'll be back, of course, tonight around 9 o'clock. So that's Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys then. If you haven't, like the video. When I'm done, I want to at least see a G. All right. If not, I'm rage quitting and I'm not coming back tonight. I ain't got 1,000 likes on this video. I'm raging and I won't be back. Okay. You don't want that. You'll be bored. Trust me. Trust me. Just like it now. Peace, guys.